Euromaxx highlights. And here's your host, Louise Houghton.
Hello and welcome to the show, which starts off with a European fashion odyssey. But first, let's have a look at what else we have in store over the next half an hour. Let It Swing. A Swedish village hosts an international music festival. Bavarian Tradition. We check out the annual Palace Festival in Regensburg. And Scenic Scandinavia. Join us for a one-day tour of Western Norway. Chanel, Hugo Boss and Christian Dior are labels that you can find around the world. High street shops like H&M and Oasis can also be seen throughout Europe, but it's amazing how styles vary in different countries, even though many of the shops are the same. We went to explore this issue by comparing the styles in Paris, Berlin and Moscow through the critical eye of German designer Wolfgang Joop.
3 cities, 3 fashion styles. Paris, Berlin, and Moscow. Trends might be similar in the 3 cities, but styles are very different.
A good personal style is always to maintain a certain sovereignty and handle shortcomings. I can always resort to accessories to make up for something I don't have, and it's always possible to create an illusion with fashion by creating a good, positive mood.
In Paris's trendy Le Marais district, you can see the bobo style wherever you go, like with art photographer Emmanuel Bosquet.
What you typically see is a mixture of the tough and the sweet, a leather jacket with pushed-up sleeves over a dress.
French designer Vanessa Bruno typifies Parisian style, sober but with a touch of romanticism.
The summer trend in Paris is towards skin colours and fabrics like this. Very transparent, light and flowing. That's really the summer trend in Paris.
Good shoes are, of course, an important fashion accessory.
I think, and I've always thought, that shoes are the most important thing for your look. Cheap shoes, thoughtlessly worn shoes, or shoes chosen only for comfort. Sensible shoes can spoil the whole effect.
In Berlin, Charlotte Wiedemann personifies the typical street style. Second-hand is an essential part of the chic woman about town's wardrobe in the German capital.
I
like the power shoulders, the whole 90s thing where women really were empowered with that business look. That comes across really well with these things. So all of a sudden you have a totally different status, and I like that.
The 80s, which these girls didn't experience, were the ultimate kick. Because of the exaggerated shoulders, because of the exaggerated colors, and anything that's considered a no is, of course, the absolute fashion kick.
Charlotte dons a knitted leather dress for an evening on the town.
You can produce these things without making too many waves, and they can be worn on the street. Berlin is a little bit of a fetish town, too. And there's a great deal in this wardrobe that we just saw that has a slightly fetishy element to it. But of course, fetish is also an ingredient of international couture.
In Moscow, Olga Bobrova often wears a cocktail dress for a night out.
That's great. Brocade and a mini when you've got good legs. The most important accessory for this look is your body.
And for special occasions, stylist Olga wears this.
Everyone lives in their own world. Everyone should be a star in their own movie, be someone special. There's no point in playing a minor role in your own movie. You want to stand out from the crowd.
The nicest shoes imaginable, a work of art. And then an haute couture dress. Fantastic. The dress looks like a copy of an Yves Saint Laurent from the 1970s.
Fashion trends are universal, whether in Moscow, Berlin, or Paris. But they are interpreted differently in different cities.
Style is what remains after all the fashions have gone.
Now, if 1920s and 30s fashion is more your style, then a small village in Sweden called Herräng is where you need to be right now. Every year, they hold a swing festival where dance lovers can learn many of the classic steps. One of the most popular dances is the Lindy Hop, which was invented by Frankie Manning in New York. And for the 31st year running, a record number of people have flocked to Herräng to give it a go.
Herräng, a main street, a population of 400 and lots of nature. And once a year, thousands of visitors from around the world come for one thing, to dance the Lindy Hop, day and night. It costs about 500 euros to spend a week at the Herräng dance camp. It's not hard to guess which dance course is the most popular. But dancers can also take Balboa or authentic jazz classes. For many people here, the event in Herräng is more than a dance camp, it's a way of life.
I was told that this is like paradise for everybody who loves dancing, and I couldn't believe everything I heard about it because everything I heard was so good. And then I came here and it's even better.
The classes, teachers, the social dancers, it's like amazing. It's like the swing Mecca from Europe.
There are several courses on offer each day. The instructors are world-renowned. Frenchman Rémi Kouakou teaches beginner and advanced levels.
The basic step of the Lindy Hop is rock, step, triple, step, step, triple, rock, step, triple, step, step, triple. This is the basic. If you got this rhythm, then you can just play around with someone. No matter which age, like from 7 to 100. So everyone can do it.
Lindy Hop dancers constantly change partners, so participants get to know new people all the time.
Everybody is here for the same reasons. We love the music and we dance together. No matter where you come from, who you are, what you like, we all like the same thing and we're just having fun doing it. So it's, for me, one of the only dance in the world that can provide that.
Some people even travel halfway across the world to get here.
31 hours to get here, but Herräng is the mecca of swing dancing. Even in Australia, you know, people still come. There's about 25 of us here this week.
It all began in 1982 with just 25 participants. The camp's founders were swing dancers from the Swedish capital, Stockholm, who'd rediscovered the Lindy Hop. The dance has its origins in 1920s New York. In later years, the organizers invited one of the Lindy Hop's originators, Frankie Manning, from New York. He made the trip to Herräng several years in a row until he died in 2009. For the camp's coordinator, Lennart Westerlund, Lindy Hop is neither a trend nor a new phenomenon in Europe.
For the last 30 years, the revival has been an ongoing thing. There has never been a peak, really. It's just been more and more people every year. So today it is like a kind of subculture in many countries.
The village of Herräng lies at the center of that subculture. Its residents have even named a street after Lindy Hop legend Frankie Manning.
All the guests now like to stop here and take a photo with a sign in the back, and our house is the first house on the road, so we feel a bit famous too.
We talk about these people who come to Herräng as the nicest people in the world. The only thing they want to do is to dance and have fun.
Participants enjoy the camp even when they're not dancing.
I love you so, clearly I love you so.
While some play music, others go shopping.
It fits.
Or they sleep in.
I
try new sports, or simply relax to save energy. That's important as the evenings are reserved for dancing with live bands every night.
This music is eternal. It's a live culture. People are dancing, they meet. The band is playing for the dancers.
Music, swing, and a sense of freedom. 30 years ago, it was a handful of dance enthusiasts with an idea. Now it's a festival that attracts thousands of people from all kinds of cultures to the tiny Swedish village. And on a night like this, Herräng is captured by the spirit of dance.
Well, over 1,000 dancers came together for the grand finale of the big dance festival last year in London's Trafalgar Square. This is just one of the many events that's been held at this famous landmark in the British capital. The historic public space is also home to the fourth plinth, a platform on an empty pillar which has staged some rather provocative contemporary public art over the last 4 years. The latest installation is by German artist Katharina Fritsch, and it was unveiled by London's Mayor Boris Johnson.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the big blue bird.
London's latest attraction is almost 5 metres tall and takes pride of place here on Trafalgar Square. These visitors came from Germany especially for the unveiling.
I love the matte colour, and when the sun's out it really shines.
The way the colour glows is amazing. It looks great on Trafalgar Square.
The square has traditionally been dominated by Nelson's Column, a tribute to the British admiral who defeated Napoleon's fleet at the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805. The 3 other plinths lining the square likewise honour kings and generals. The blue cockerel is a light-hearted challenge to the male grandeur around it. Its creator is German artist Katharina Fritsch.
My main aim was for it to look good here. I wanted a sculpture that would be interesting from all sides and would work well with the historical architecture which I love. But it wasn't meant to look old-fashioned or pokey.
Katharina Fritsch is a major figure on the German and global art scenes. She's known for her life-sized and super-sized sculptures of people and animals. Her trademark use of bold colours lends her works an unreal dimension. It took the 57-year-old 2.5 years to complete her latest work.
It was really complicated to create and make sure that the chest wasn't too prominent. It was quite tough incorporating both the cockerel's strut and its fragile aspects.
This is the 9th work of contemporary art to grace the 4th plinth on Trafalgar Square. Previous exhibits include Mark Wallinger's life-sized figure of Christ, a coloured glass model hotel by German artist Thomas Schutte, and a very public installation in 2009 by Anthony Gormley, where everyday Londoners made their own statements on the plinth. The plinth has also hosted a giant ship in a bottle and a bronze sculpture of a boy on a rocking horse. Now Katharina Fritsch's cockerel has taken up the perch.
We as the 4th Plinth Commissioning Group ask artists to respond to their location, to think about the social, the cultural, the political resonances of this historic square in the centre of London. Katharina Fritsch responded with something that's simple, that's elegant, that has a sense of humour and a real beauty to it. I think this will be a piece of work that London will love.
Every work to feature on the 4th plinth has sparked controversy, and the rooster is no exception. Some see the cockerel, a symbol of France, right next to Nelson's Column, as a provocation. But most agree it's definitely eye-catching.
I like it very much, yes. It's something new and modern.
The blue color is great and a nice contrast to this historic square.
It's a very good representation of a cockerel, and it's nice and bright and looks very good up there, but I'm not sure it's what I would want there as a permanent position on the plinth.
But for the next 18 months at least, the big bird will rule the roost here at Trafalgar Square.
And we turn to another event now, but this time in the Bavarian city of Regensburg. The Thurn and Taxis Palace has been hosting their annual festival, which attracts around 30,000 visitors a year. The aristocratic family has been celebrating their 10th anniversary festival this year, and a wide range of very well-established musicians were scheduled to perform. But if you were to go there expecting a run-of-the-mill series of concerts, you'd be in for a big surprise.
Every summer, the park around the St. Emmeram Palace becomes an exclusive picnic site. And the royal residence of Thurn und Taxis becomes a venue for musicians of all styles. Princess Gloria von Thurn und Taxis has, of course, invited all her relatives to Regensburg for her big open-air event.
As the hostess, it's my job to entertain my friends, to be present, cheerful and happy at all times. This is a 14-day shindig, a non-stop garden party, and meeting with the artists is a lot of fun.
Dann macht es mir Spaß, auch die Begegnung mit den Künstlern.
Artists like Max Rabe. It's his third time here, performing songs from the 1920s and 30s with his ensemble, the Palastorchester.
Was Sie sich denken, ist nicht mein Herr.
We
only perform where we want to, where the atmosphere is good and it's fun to play. Behind the palace in this beautiful park, you could play forever. And I must say, these are the best dressing rooms we've ever had on tour.
Even German pop king Udo Jürgens feels at home here in the palace courtyard.
I've never seen an audience like this before.
Jürgens is one of the most successful musicians in the world. He sold more than 100 million records in the last 50 years. But performing here is still something special.
A person who performs on stage always has a lot of respect for the people who come and listen. And the audience also shows so much respect for what we're doing. That's really something special for us.
Sowas zu machen ist für die Biografie eines jeden Künstlers etwas Besonderes.
At intermission, visitors use the time to chat over a glass of champagne or enjoy some fine food. The princess also mingles with the crowd. She loves sharing her world with others.
You just enjoy the place. When do you get to be in these surroundings?
People get closer to her because she opens the palace up to the people.
It's rare for a person to successfully unify tradition with such openness. She's so charming and cheeky. I just love the cheekiness.
Ich ändere, was ich ändern kann.
Of course, Jürgens had the princess in mind when choosing his tunes for the evening.
I think many songs suit her. I know she likes music, and she'll be moved, emotionally touched by some of the songs in the repertoire.
This evening, Udo Jürgens won the hearts of all the guests.
It's just brilliant the way he grabs the audience in a snap. Sensational. And then the songs are so wonderful, yet reflective as well.
Udo Jürgens is one of the old school. Dreamy.
Udo Jürgens and the Emmeram Palace, it's the highlight for Regensburg this year.
She does it so well. Praise for our princess.
After the concert, the princess invited Udo Jürgens to join the audience in dining in the palace grounds, a meal that even one of Germany's top celebrities wasn't about to miss.
And from Bavaria, we head north to the beautiful Norwegian fjords. We joined a one-day tour that starts off in the city of Bergen on the west coast. Called Norway in a nutshell, it's the perfect way for anyone with limited time to take in some of the highlights of this spectacular region. So sit back and enjoy some breathtaking scenery.
Our one-day Norwegian tour kicks off in Bergen. It's the second biggest city in the country with a population of 270,000. We take the Bergen Railway and head north to Voss. This is one of the world's most scenic train journeys. We then continue by bus to the Norway Valley. The bus driver also acts as our tour guide.
Kleiva means a steep road. Stavnskleiva is the steepest road in Norway.
And it snakes its way down the mountain through 13 hair-raising hairpin turns.
I've driven this road since 74, and so that will be about 20,000-30,000 times. I've never had an accident in this road.
After reaching the small town of Gudfangen, our journey continues by ferry. Norway Fjord is a tributary of the Sogne Fjord, the longest and deepest fjord in Europe. Our leisurely cruise is the highlight of the trip. Viva Getjunaita from Lithuania and her friend Toby Efterland from Norway are overjoyed.
The most reason why I'm here because I don't have a lot of time and I would like to see a lot. So it's the best way.
The Norway Fjord was listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2005. It's the narrowest fjord in Europe, at some points just 250 meters wide.
I have never seen anything like this before. I don't even have the words to describe how beautiful it is.
Yeah, it's really magical. I've never seen the fjords before. It's just amazing.
Our boat trip ends at the village of Flåm. The harbor is a popular port of call for cruise liners. Flåm has a population of just 450, but sees around 80,000 visitors a year. The Flåm Railway takes passengers straight up to the Myrdal Mountain Railway Junction, 865 meters up. The 20-kilometer-long stretch of track is the steepest standard gauge railway line in Northern Europe. The Kjosfossen waterfall has a surprise in store for the visitors. This is Huldra, a mythical forest siren from Norwegian folklore.
Wonderful, amazing. The best view I have ever seen.
Wasn't half bad, actually.
The Myrdal Junction connects the Flåm and Bergen railway lines. And so we come full circle and return to Bergen.
It's first time when I have this kind of experience, so everything was interesting for me. I was surprised about everything, and I was just looking and saying, wow, wow.
It's been an unforgettable tour with plenty of memories packed into just one day.
And that wraps up our show for today. So all that's left for me to do is to say thank you for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day and see you again next time. Bye-bye for now.